Faza'il A'mal, More Trouble Than It's Worth. Part 26. Conclusions, Recommendations, and Further Research. So now we come to the end of this particular series, and after this conclusion I hope to do a series of takhrij on 4 hadiths taken from the thesis. Takhrij simply means the analysis of the text of the hadith followed by isnad analysis. So who exactly are the people in the chain, their names, their biographies, who collected the hadith, are they reliable or are they unreliable, are they known or unknown, are they trustworthy in their narrations, do they have good memories, and all of these things have been covered thoroughly in the previous episodes. So this is officially the end of this series, but there will be 4 more takhrij hadith analysis videos after this. So now we come to the author's recommendations and what he thinks should happen with the TJ going forward. The first of them is the author, Dr. Younis Al-Turkistany. He encourages people to participate in spreading authentic ahadith and abiding by them, while persuading them not to repeat or spread any hadith they come by before they confirm its authenticity. Basically, find out if before you spread anything if it is actually authentic. And he quotes a hadith in support of this statement. The hadith says, "It is enough of a lie to report all that one hears." It's enough, if you just report everything you hear, that's enough to be considered a liar. And that's a hadith. The next thing he says is he calls for an eradication, or at least a limiting, of the phenomenon of the spread of weak hadith and fabricated hadith in order to preserve Islamic heritage. The next thing he states is he recommends a formation of a world scientific council consisting of scholars prominent in the field of hadith under the official and approved supervision in Muslim countries. The goal of this council will be to compile 2 encyclopedias in Arabic and in English, which will contain all the authentic ahadith and also all the fabricated ahadith, unanimously agreed upon as being such by majority of the hadith critics over the century. This collection of every single authentic Arabic hadith has actually been done, and it is one goal of the GR, the Gletkin-Rubishov channel, to undertake this thesis or to undertake this work, but that will be many years in the making. The next page that describes the recommendations that the author recommends is, due to the numerous criticisms directed towards the TJ, we call for the leadership of the movement to form a special committee under its supervision to deal with all of these criticisms in a constructive way through studying the book. Now, the GR channel travels up and down the country and across the globe looking for editions of the FA and testing them to see if they actually contain these fallacious narrations and these inaccurate representations of Quranic verses, and most of the time they do. This statements that are made and this analysis that has been done is actually an accurate representation of the shoddy nature of the written scholarship of the TJ, at least. So what is the official TJ response? It seems they have an ostrich response, i.e. they stick their heads in the sand and they don't respond to these criticisms. Though I will say, in my perusal of several TJ mosques and religious centres, and if you look at the Newham Mosque project, it's just a glorified car park basically, you will find that they are shunning this book, the FA, and you will not see them promoting it as much. So that we have to praise them for. That is a good thing. Another recommendation that he makes is the movement's methodology involving restricting oneself to the knowledge of virtues, Faza'il A'mal or Targhib wa Tarhib, and they don't gain knowledge in jurisprudential matters. And in our opinion, he says, it is our opinion that the movement should give some attention to such knowledge to better equip its followers, and this will be a positive influence or a positive direction for the movement to go in. Then he says, we hope the publishers of the TJ, the Tablighi Nisab or the Faza'il A'mal, or any other book of the movement will abide by the authors, Sheikh Muhammad Zakaria's conditions, that while also being rigorous in their proofreading and avoiding typographical errors and putting more effort into publishing the book in a better form. So it seems the TJ are not letting this book go, even though in the UK at least they are putting it on the back burner somewhat. If they're going to stick with this book, they should improve it, and they should look at the ahadith and improve the typographical errors and publish it in a decent form. And then he further recommends a study of the Faza'il A'mal from a conceptual perspective and verification of the claims that it contains contradictions leading to polytheism or innovation. So if you listen to and read the other series, which is called Faza'il A'mal Problematic Readings, you will find cases of this group being heavily influenced by the Chishti Sufi order. You will find narrations of people who are invoking third parties, people who are dead in the graves. You will find such instances of people's coming out of the grave, attachment to amulets, and all manner, in fact over 130 different instances of devious and fallacious beliefs that are not within normative Islam. So this is something that the author has noticed, and I've noticed. The book does contain things that leads to polytheism or innovation. And innovation generally in an English sense is a good word, but in a religious and an Islamic sense, innovation is something that is dispraised. Then he says, he recommends a critical hadith study of the parts of the book not previously studied, such as Fada'il Ramadan, Fada'il Dhikr, and Fada'il Hajj. And then a study of the TJ and its missionary efforts, especially during the pilgrimage season. And then he continues, a study of the extent to which the movement responds to criticism directed towards it, a critical study of the Tablighi missionary trips and their social impact on members of the family, an investigative study of the consequences of confining the role of the mosque in some countries to missionary programs of the TJ, a study of the impressions and opinions of the people of the TJ through surveys and interviews with individuals from different strata of society. That is the conclusion. Stay tuned for the takhrij, which will be in 4 parts, and stay tuned for many more videos on this channel.